From Fox 55 Sports, this is The Locker Room.
Since 06, it's never been done. So coming in freshman year, we knew at some point that's definitely on our bucket list, something we want to check off. So to do that this year would be a great accomplishment and feeling.
Oh, they've talked about it. You know, it's been a long time since we've been beating Snyder, so they know that. They know the number of years. They know the score of the last game, all those things. So it's on their minds, but I think they've been really good about making sure that the task at hand is at the forefront.
I've heard a lot of people say we want to make history this week, but I think it's more just coming in and doing what we do and going 1-0 at the end of the day. We got to block well, we got to run routes well, we got to do every little thing right, and at the end of the day, it should be good.
So what's the mentality as you guys get ready for tomorrow night?
SEC Championship. You know, this is our senior class, you know, biggest senior class in a long time to come through Snyder. This is our legacy, and it depends on how we want to leave here. Do we want to leave here, you know, 9-3 like last year, no SEC Championship, or do we want to leave here undefeated regular season, SEC Championship, you know, leave our legacy?
We look at every game we play, we look at it as a must-win because we want to play our best every week. But this game is different because of all the hype going into it. But it's a normal Friday for us. We're just going to go out there and play our game.
You know, with us two being undefeated, the team that wins has the upper hand. But we're not giving any hardware out after this game, and you know, all kinds of things can happen as it does every year in the SAC. We know we just got to play well. The urgency to play well Friday night is apparent to everybody in this program.
So with that, happy Friday, boys and girls. Welcome inside the locker room. Justin Prince back in the saddle with my partner.
You're back, man.
Peter Hood, as always.
You survived the bachelor party down in Texas.
Did indeed.
He lived to tell about it, folks.
Pete, I'd say I picked a pretty good weekend to return from my short hiatus from the show.
I'd say so, yeah.
We've got East Noble Leo, Columbia City DeKalb, Bishop Dwenger Carroll, all big games with conference championship implications, but we begin our night at Walter Stadium on the southwest side of Fort Wayne.
Yeah, you heard it in our intro. The last time Sparty beat Snyder, the guys who are seniors on both of those teams right now weren't even in kindergarten yet. That's the hump Homestead has to get over if they hope to bring home the program's first victory bell this season. Sole possession of first place in the SAC is on the line as the Spartans host the Panthers in the locker room's game of the week. It's a battle between two of the best, not only in the city, but in the state. Snyder ranked 5th in Class 6A. Homestead ranked 8th. Both squads come into tonight with 4-0 records. Spartans took a 12-point lead into the break. They get the ball first coming out of halftime. And how about the play design there? And how about the year Braden Hardwick is having, Jay Prince?
So good.
Breaking tackles into Snyder territory. A few plays later, Luke Goody, little jump pass to Griffin Little. And that's another big play for Little. The future Bowling Green Falcon puts his team up 18 midway through the third.
Easy on that knee.
Panthers need points, and they get them on the ensuing drive. John Barnes Jr. to Dylan Duff. That's a first down. Later in the drive, it's Barnes to Alonzo Derrick. Takes a huge hit, but holds on to it. Snyder back within 2 scores, but they just couldn't get any stops tonight, Jay Prince, against that high-powered Homestead offense. This time it's Goody to Jared Kistler. There's a Sparty party going on the southwest side right now, folks. Homestead beats Snyder for the first time in 13 seasons, 49-36 your final. They control their own destiny from here on out in the SAC.
Plenty of offense in that one. Over to Shields Field we go. Not a lot of offense in this. A battle of one-loss teams between Bishop Dwenger and Carroll. And, well, this is one way to bring in a game ball. This one, like I said, all about defense early on. 4th down for the Chargers. Jeff Becker looking downfield. Pass broken up by Patrick Finley, and the Saints take over. Next drive for the Saints. 3rd down and long. Nothing open for Brendan Lytle. He pulls it, but gets leveled by Max Malcolm. Big hit. And the Saints are forced to punt. Dwenger would force another Charger punt. Next drive, Lytle, he's hooking up with Patrick O'Keefe for the big gain down to the 5. But again, the Chargers would hold. The Saints wouldn't get any points out of the drive. This game would go to half with Dwenger up 3. They go on to grind out the 10-3 victory this evening.
Two good defensive teams right there. Over to Spooler we go. Northrop squaring off with Concordia. Bruins trailing just before half, but here they come. Dylan Hoot completes to Quaylen Pettis on the short route. He takes it down inside the 5. Few plays later, Demarius Cowan takes the handoff, powers his way in for 6. We're all tied up. Bruins would force a 3-and-out. They'd march down the field, and this time it's Hoot hitting Adrian Sewell over the middle for the score. Northrop up 6 after the mixed extra point, but they weren't done. Under 30 seconds to go till half. Brandon Davis picked off by Antoine Scott, and he's got a house call, Jay Prince. Northrop gets 19 unanswered in under 6 minutes before the break. They hang on to win 40-33 in overtime, and they're 3-2 on the season.
Indeed, second to last SAC stop takes us to Chambers Field. Northside looking for their second straight win, hosting Bishop Luers. Just before half, Legends already up 12, adding to it. Alex Holiday Robinson takes the handoff.
Every day's a holiday.
Right. Indeed. He finds Pater. Northside up 19-0. Heading into the half. Second half now, Legends get the ball first, but Luers comes out with some life. Nick Berkmeyer, that hit in the backfield that's going to force a Northside punt, and then here come the Knights. Ramon Anderson finds some space. He bullies his way forward for the first down, and then a few plays later, it's C.J. Hale. He goes virtually untouched into the end zone. Luers on the board, just down 12, but Northside would do just enough to hang on to this one tonight. Their winners 19-14, making 2 straight dub for the Legends.
How about that for Coach Brevard? Final stop in the SAC comes down on Winchester Road. Couple squads looking for their first W of the season. Wayne hosting Southside. Archers up a score. And we pick this one up second quarter. Demir Clark to Devontae Alford. This kid's listed at 5'4", 151 pounds, but don't tell him that. How about that effort to get into the end zone? Southside leads 18-6, and they were far from done. Very next drive, they hand it to Dylan Jackson. You think these guys want to win?
I think so.
How about the effort there again? Makes it 26-6 Archers, but Wayne would not go quietly on their home field. Ensuing possession, they give it to Keyshawn Fields, and that's usually a pretty good idea. Senior tackled at the 3. Very next play, Aiden Meek to Cameron Webb for the short score. Generals cut the deficit to 13, but it's Southside holding on for their first win in nearly 2 years. 46-35 your final. Congrats to Coach Norfleet and company.
To the NE8 we go. East Noble hosting Leo. Sole possession of first place on the line in the conference. East Noble up 14 at half, and Bailey Parker does Bailey Parker things. Finds Gage Ernsberger with the over-the-shoulder throw, and he bobbles it a little, but brings it in, and the Knights go up. Means lots of push-ups for those cheerleaders.
Hey, they can handle it. They're not complaining.
Indeed. Leo not going away, though. A few drives later, Jackson Barber finds Caden Miller on the quick pass, and this guy's pretty fast, Pete.
Got some quicks.
Makes it down the corner, and he's down the sideline. That's a gain of 24, but that drive would stall. Ball back to East Noble. And they use the trusty connection you just saw. Parker to Ernsberger once again.
Like clockwork.
That path will lead a little more, and East Noble goes on to win 35-7. They're 5-0 in sole possession of the NE8.
So Columbia City trying to keep pace with East Noble atop the NE8 standings. Eagles hosting DeKalb on homecoming tonight. Barons get on the board first. They're looking for more late in the first quarter. Evan Eschbach lobs one for Evan Snyder. He's finally brought down inside the 15. Couple plays later, little miscommunication here between Eschbach and the receiver. Eagles make him pay with the INT. Columbia City gets the ball back, trailing by a touchdown. Early in the second quarter now, Gregory Bolt. This is a heck of a throw and an even better catch by Kieran Gillis. Gets the Puppies down. Extra point good. We're all squared at 7. Wouldn't be tied for long, though. Later in the second quarter, Eagles take their first lead of the game off the foot of Garrett Kleefeker. 10-7 Columbia City at that point, but It's the Barons who come back to win 20-17 your final, and they still have only one loss on the year, Jay Prince.
Indeed, staying in the NE8, we head out to Young Stadium. Norwell putting its 3-1 record on the line against the winless New Haven Bulldogs. Your excuse. Knights came into the night allowing just 2.5 points per game. That makes them the top defense in the state, but Pete, on the first play of the game, they give up 6. Jakar Williams
just like that.
Jamar Hutchins over the middle, and Hutchins does the rest. 80 yards to the residents. Dogs jump out to a 7-0 lead. Later in the first quarter, Williams looking for more. Probably should have held on to this one, though. It's picked off by Eli Riley. That's what we call quarterback-on-quarterback crime.
How are you going to do that to a fellow quarterback?
Riley fumbles on the return, but Norwell does recover. Ensuing possession for the Knights now. They're going for it on 4th down, but Riley tripped up just short of the line to gain.
It's a heck of a tackle right there.
Indeed, big stop for the Dogs defense. New Haven, they go on to get their first win of the year in big fashion. 35-10 your final.
All right, down to Decatur we go. Huntington North paying Belmont a visit. Late second quarter, Vikings already up big, and they're adding to that lead. Cameron Faust free down the middle of the field, makes the grab in open space, and it's Huntington North 34-6 at halftime. Opening kickoff, second half, and this is just kind of how the night went for the Braves. Jackson Holzinger fields the squib kick. He's going to break through, and there he goes. 81 yards to the residents, as they say. Vikings are up 35, but hold on. They're still not done. Garrett Johnson joins the fun. Later in the third, he punches it in from a few yards out. Vikings blow out Belmont 56-13 your final.
Ooh. Down to Monroe for some ACAC action. Adams Central welcoming their visitors from Monroeville to town. Flying Jets flying early in this one. First drive of the game, Alex Curry takes the handoff. Shades of Logan Macklin, anyone? Off to the races.
Maybe not quite that fast, but that's a good score for him there.
Still, no one catches it. AC up 6. After a Heritage punt, Jets marching right back down the field. Going to the air this time, Dallas Schwaller completes to Ben Voirol for the first down. And then later in the drive, Blake Hirely takes the handoff off the right side. He plunges his way in for 6. Jets go up 13. They cruise to the 35-6 victory.
So that sets up Adams Central versus South Adams next week, Jay Prince. It'll be the locker rooms game of the week. A couple of undefeated teams going at it down in Adams County as the Starfires beat Monroe Central tonight 34-15. Woodland, how about that? 46-0 over Southern Wells tonight in the ACAC.
Bluffton heads down to Jay County. They top the Patriots 43-19 in other ACAC action tonight.
All right, let's head up to Butler. Eastside Blazers hosting Garrett, both hoping to take home the Train Trophy. Eastside gets the ball, and on the first drive of the game, Laban Davis, he's having a heck of a year, finds Lane Burns, who finds the pylon. That score in the PAT would put Eastside up 7-0. Blazers student section, they were fired up in Busco last week. They're fired up again tonight. Later in the first, Eastside gets the ball back, but Garrett's defense holds this time. Cole Bergman able to bring him down for the sack. On their next drive, they wouldn't be able to do a whole lot, though. This is Clayton Fielden picking up a short chunk, but wasn't enough. Eastside too strong. They take home that Train Trophy by a score of 28-8, your final.
West Noble, how about them? They stay unbeaten with a 38-6 win over Fairfield tonight. And Angola picks up their first win of the season, 35-12 over Lakeland.
Busco, they get a big bounce-back win up at Prairie Heights, coming off that loss to Eastside. 44-19, the Eagles victorious. And hey, how about Fremont?
Yeah.
20-17, they get the win over Central Noble tonight. Congrats to Coach Hummer and company.
To the TRC we go. Southwood all over Wabash 41-0. And Tippecanoe Valley winners over Rochester 38-14.
Staying in the TRC, Whitco on the wrong end of a 53-22 beatdown against North Miami, and maybe the game of the night.
Maybe.
Down at Manchester tonight. Went to overtime down there. Northfield able to pull out a 49-48 win.
In the Northern Lakes Conference, Warsaw winners by 15 over Northridge, 28-13, and Northwood topping Wawasee 40-10.
All right, Jay Prince, you know what time it is, my man.
Play of the night.
Play of the night. And listen, Norwell, we mentioned it earlier, their defense was giving up 2.5 points per game coming into the night, New Haven was winless, hadn't gotten much going on offensively all year. And first play of the game, 80 yards, Jamar Hutchins houses it. Bulldogs get their first win of the year, 35-10, your final. And that one was a bit of a surprise. Obviously, you figured New Haven was going to get a win eventually, but to put 35 points up on a Norwell team that was only allowing 2 points per game, pretty impressive for Coach Lynn and company.
Absolutely, and I think you saw it tonight how badly Homestead wants that first victory bell. That's a good Snyder team that they absolutely took it to this evening, and credit to the Spartans. Well, they've looked good.
I mean, I think Snyder was only allowing 7 or 8 points a game to their opponents coming into the night, and when I left the Homestead game, and it was late in the third quarter when I left that game, they had yet to punt. They were pitching a perfect game on offense. I mean, they've got an absolute juggernaut with Luke Goody leading the way, Griffin Little. Yeah. They're the team to beat right now, clearly. Yeah, I mean, they're the team to beat right now, clearly in the SAC. Got Homestead Carroll in a couple weeks. That one will be interesting, but outside of that, looks like clear sailing for the Spartans.
Indeed.